Hey, so we get asked all the time, why did you move here to Summerville and would you do it again? And today we're going to answer those questions in front of our brandy new giant television, 150-inch television that Mark put up on the wall here in our office.
Yeah, so obviously we make videos all the time, and we get these questions not only from our family members, but from our clients as well. If we don't know each other, my name is Mark. This is Jeff. We're with the Charleston Area Living Group, and we talk about all things Summerville, living here, buying a house here, having fun here, family time here. We talk about it all. We give you the good, the bad, and the ugly. If you stick around to the end, we're going to talk about the 3 things that we may not like or miss.
I got to come up with 3 things that I'm not happy about.
Yeah. Right. Each. We're each going to go.
So I'm not even sharing.
We're not sharing. You come up with your own, I'm going to come up with my own.
What if we have one that...
That's okay.
Okay. So
yeah, if it overlaps, it's okay. Yeah. So, I'm going to ask you the question, Jeff.
Yeah.
You can answer at the end of your explanation.
Okay.
Or at the beginning.
All right.
Would you do it again? Would you move here from the Pittsburgh area again? Or maybe you want to move back?
No, 100%. So I've been here, what are the girls? The girls are 14 and a half now. I've been here about 13 and a half years now.
And I'm not just saying because there are girls.
No, but
I kind of know how old they're.
Knowledge of my daughters. Yeah, our daughters and
our friends.
And we do stuff. Yeah, so it started 13-ish years ago, and there was a monster snowstorm in Pittsburgh. We had like 3 feet of snow, and I had to shovel a hole in the front yard for the dog to go out and eat. And I came inside to Andrea, and the girls were babies. They were only about 2 months old at that time. I said, this is stupid. Let's go south. So my brother...
I can hear you saying that.
Oh, yeah. This is stupid.
This is stupid. Why are we here?
This is stupid. Yeah, we're here.
So we did honestly do what a lot of our clients do, and they do a lot of research on where to go, because my brother was already here, and my parents had a house in Pittsburgh and here. So they were going back and forth. So when we decided to come south, Summerville had kind of already been decided for us. We had vacationed in Myrtle in the past and taken a day trip to Summerville and Charleston and loved it. Okay. So that's kind of what got us heading in this direction. Once we decided we were moving, and I had a job. I wasn't a realtor at the time. I had a job that as long as I was by an airport, I was fine because I just traveled all the time.
Yeah.
And so I've never thought about leaving. Like, I've never thought about going farther south. I've never thought about going back north.
So my situation is very similar. My mom was here.
Okay.
I was in Massachusetts, tore my knee up skiing.
Not in the knee!
The next winter, we had 96 inches of snow in Massachusetts. 96 in one season. And I was like, similar thing. Yeah, this is dumb. I can't ski anymore.
Right.
I don't have fun in the wintertime. I'm cold. Why don't I go?
Wouldn't have jacked your knee up if you would still be there?
That's a good question. I don't know. I don't know for sure.
This would have never happened.
Right.
I'm really glad you hurt your knee.
Oh, that knee does not look good.
Yeah, me too. But, very similar story. Moved down here in 1999. So I've been here 25 years now. And so I was in my low 20s, I think.
Okay.
So started in the restaurant business down here, then, moved into cell phones and Verizon Wireless for 14 years and then real estate. So been through a lot here. I've seen a lot of changes in the 25 years. A lot of roads going from 2 roads to 4 lanes.
Yeah.
And things like that. And, as you grow with the area, it doesn't seem so bad unless maybe you've been here since you were a little kid or something. So there are those Facebook people that are out there.
We did have somebody that was here years ago, and then they wanted to come back here, came back to visit, and they were like, because they hadn't seen that progression from what Summerville was to what it is now.
Yeah. Oh, the screensaver came on.
Hold on. Did you see that? I did that. I went like this, and it made it happen.
All right, we got to fix that next time.
All right. Breaking it out as we go here. So she was really shocked at the growth of some, and a lot of the growth is good growth, and a lot of the growth, some of it is bad growth.
Yep.
Like the good growth is that all the cool restaurants and some of the things to do in Charleston, Summerville has become its own tourist destination, and so a lot of the really cool restaurants, Paul's, Taco Boy, whatever, have moved from Charleston and have locations out here. Vicious Biscuit being one of them, right down the street from us here.
Or Hull.
Oh yeah, Paul's.
Oh,
sure.
Amazing.
Love it.
Yeah. As far as is there price differences and stuff. So right before we got on camera, I went on Forbes moving calculator, something like that, right? And I was like, okay, well, what's the cost of living difference per Forbes, right? Because I don't know.
Yeah, so that takes into account like housing, utilities.
Yeah, how much money would you have to make in this? Like, if you were in Boston, making $70,000 a year, how much would you have to make here?
So I don't know what that number was for Pittsburgh, but I did look at that report one time and compare Pittsburgh to here, and I'm better off here than I was in Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
like property taxes, an example, like. My house in Pittsburgh, where I was, would be $10,000, $11,000 a year.
That's a big difference.
In here, I'm under $3,000 a year for my property tax here.
Yeah. So I just pulled a couple cities. Depending on where you're coming from, is going to depend on, is it a really good move for you?
Yeah.
Or is it just an okay or a lateral move for you, right?
Yeah.
So I looked at Boston and LA just because they're big cities, right? Both of them were around the 50% difference. So 47%, you have to make 47% less here than you do have to do in Boston. Yeah. And this is based off Boston to Charleston.
Yeah.
So, we don't live in Charleston, but we live 30 miles from Charleston.
So if we were going to compare,
it's pretty close.
Like Butt Snort, Idaho, it would be, wouldn't it be amazing if that really was a town? Butt Snort, Idaho.
Yeah.
If you live in Butt Snort, I apologize. I didn't mean to rip on your town name.
But if you look at like Hartford and Providence, they were only like a 14% difference.
Okay.
You still make better here, 14%, or you have to make 14% less money to live here.
So probably the areas that we see most of our clients moving from, California, Washington, and then the whole upper northeast area, all of them are, for the most part, I would guess, are doing better here than they did there.
Yeah, the only quick one that I pulled that was almost similar is 1% better here than it was in Rochester,
New York.
Because it's a big suburb of New York.
Yeah, I mean? That makes sense.
So I thought that was interesting.
It is.
Just to kind of know, because a lot of people say, oh, it's so much cheaper down here. Well, it is based on where you're coming from.
Yeah, and there's different ways that you spend your dollars here. So, this might be a little cheaper. The other thing I know...
What?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. I don't know how it did that.
It's a ghost or something. What was that? I'm gone. It's gone. Oh, no. Different things. Some things are more expensive. Some are less expensive. But some of the big things that I've noticed are my utilities were much, much higher in Pittsburgh.
Is it oil and stuff, right?
Well, no, we had gas heat there, but there was a lot of oil heat in the area. My grandmother lives in a house that...
I didn't think they had natural yet.
Yeah, back in the day. I'm not that old. 53. I'm a couple years from being a 55. I'm not even a 55-plus neighborhood yet. Utilities were much lower, and we've seen that in the houses here. Like, they're so much more efficient than some of the areas that I came from. I'm assuming it's probably the same from where you came from.
It is, and I think a lot of that has to do with there's so much new construction. Right? I pulled up just Summerville today, and there was like 435 homes either under construction or new done on the MLS, just in Summerville.
Yeah.
435.
Yeah. And the vast majority of Summerville is that new construction, HOAs. Like, if you're looking for 2 acres and, being able to chase the wife around the yard naked, nobody can see you, like, it's going to be a little bit. Summerville is not for you. That's not what this is.
Yeah.
But did you ever live in an HOA before you moved here?
No.
I didn't either, and I was a little concerned about it, and now I don't know that I'd ever not want to live in an HOA.
Yeah.
I love having the pool and all those kind of amenities. It's not a lot per year. And then it also just guarantees that your neighbor's grass isn't going to be 6 feet high, that he doesn't open up an auto repair shop next door. So I have not found it to be invasive into my life. Yeah, I've actually liked it, and I would want to stay in an HOA.
Now, I'm sure there's some neighborhoods that have the HOA Nazi that go around taking pictures.
Yeah.
Just because they have nothing to do.
Yeah.
But I just haven't experienced that in the 3 neighborhoods.
I feel like those are in the very small HOA neighborhoods where there's 40 houses, and there's a board, and half the neighborhood is on the board, and that's where I think I haven't even really seen or heard of that, but in these big neighborhoods that like you and I live in, that just because they're managed by a management company.
Yeah.
So that really wouldn't happen.
And I think another big difference here compared to up north, and you probably agree with me here on this. I think you even said you get more.
Always agree with you. I'm just learning.
You get more gray skies than even Massachusetts did. But like,
Yes.
I felt like in the wintertime, you almost go into this, is it ever going to be sunny again?
Am I ever not going to be freeze?
Yeah.
Should my face hurt when I go outside?
Right.
Pittsburgh, I read an article just right before I moved here. Pittsburgh had less blue sky days than Seattle, Washington. So it was just always gray there.
Mm-hmm.
I would go for, now part of it was I was working 12-hour shifts at a hospital when I was there at time. I would go days without seeing the sun and sometimes weeks without seeing blue sky. And I didn't realize how much it affected me until I got here, and just it being so stinking beautiful every day. Convertible weather, moonroof open, like it's a big deal. Like I really like it.
Yeah, I mean, imagine being in short sleeves and short.
Yeah,
in December and January.
yes.
Like that just never happened where we came.
I sent my friends a lot of pictures to their phones and to Facebook when I first moved here. The next year, I'm golfing in January.
Yeah,
I'm boating in February. It's now that was the downside also. August, it's hot. I was pretty sure I was going to die the first year I got here. I'm surprised at how climatized I've become, though.
Yeah, because you just kind of
you get used to it. In Pittsburgh, if it was 80, I would never mow my grass. That is way too hot. Now it could be 95 here. I'm outside just running around. It's not like it used to be.
And speaking of that, I would say August is a really good time for people to come and visit so that you know how hot it really is here.
Yeah. That's the worst case scenario.
Yeah, worst case scenario is August.
Yep.
Come during August, July 4th weekend or something like that. That would be a great time to come visit and just say, okay, I can deal with this.
Yeah.
Like I could get used to this.
And I did. It was really only 1 year. We used to Andrew and I used to go down to Disney, and we'd go in January, and we would be running around in shorts and T-shirts.
And everybody's in winter.
Yeah. All the locals are down there wearing like fur coats, and they're dying. And we're like, what is wrong with these people?
Yeah.
Now, Andrew just texted me the other day. It was 78 degrees, and she was over at the beach, and she's like, I feel a little chilly, actually.
Yeah. Sorry. we got to think back.
I did that. I keep doing it. All I have to do is this, and it keeps coming back. That's amazing.
Maybe if you point at it, it'll move.
Hey, check out this one. So this is we're doing something new here on the channel. If you haven't caught it yet, Tuesday nights at 7:00 we're going live, and so it's Mark and I. It's some of the team. Sometimes we may have some special guests on there eventually, but just jump on, ask us questions. I was terrified nobody was going to show up.
We had a good following, right?
21 people this week. We're pretty much on for the whole thing, and then hundreds have watched it since then.
And we love all of their questions.
Yeah,
like we just get to answer them right then and live. And
yep.
We don't know it, we're going to say it.
Yeah, or I'll make it up. I get a certain face I make when I'm making it up, so if you see me go like this a little bit, just know I'm making.
The good thing is if he goes too far with the makeup, I just mute his mic, and then I just jump right.
The power to mute me. He pushes a button, and all of a sudden I go quiet.
All right, let's get to the three things that maybe you don't so much like, or maybe you just, it's not that you don't like this area about it. Maybe it's just something that you miss. I'll go first.
All right.
For me, I'm a big guy. The humidity here, for some reason, you get used to it.
Yeah.
But it's just still there. It's like, man.
It's.
So that's probably the number one for me is the humidity. If you can get used to that and be okay with that, you'll be fine here.
Do you feel like it's still less, though, than what a lot of our people have experienced in Florida? Because I do.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. I feel like the humidity is not, because we've had so many people that are now halfbacks. They've moved from the Northeast or somewhere cold down to Florida. They've come halfway back to the Carolinas, and I feel like it's better here.
Yep, I totally agree. All right, what's your number one?
All right, so it's not really a what I don't like here. It's one thing I miss. Pittsburgh had such a cultural food scene going on, and it sounds silly to say this because Charleston is such an amazing culinary town. But the one thing I really liked here in the Strip District in Pittsburgh, there was all these different shops. So there's a fish market. You go to Woolies, get you a fish sandwich. The Enrico Biscotti Company, they had fantastic macaroons. Then go to Parma Meats, and they had, meats and cheeses and the sausages hanging from the ceiling. And so I miss that strip district, like that one street where you can go and find every, the Asian grocery, everything all in one street. I do miss that.
Have you ever been to Faneuil Hall in Boston? Is it kind of like that?
No.
Okay.
Haven't been there.
All right. So Faneuil Hall had all kinds of...
But now I want to go.
Yeah. We'll have to go there.
That sounds... Right.
It's right by Cheers, I think.
Let's roll.
If I would down.
I'm trying to think of the Cheers name, the Cheers song now. Where everybody knows your name.
Yeah. Good stuff.
So if we're not professional singers,
Call that singing? No, they call that talking.
clearly that's been made clear.
All right, so number 2 for me,
Yeah.
is Roundabouts. We get drivers from all over the country here, and specifically, there's a King Bay roundabout that is 2 lanes,
Yeah.
and people lose their mind.
Yeah. The death about.
Yeah,
I just made that up.
there's an accident. I like that. There's an accident at least 4 times a week there, just because it's 2 lanes.
The roundabouts are more efficient when they're 1 lane.
Yes, I agree.
But this 2-lane nonsense, I'm in the right lane, and I'm just assuming I can keep going, and then this dude shoots over here, and I'm running off the side of the. It's scary.
Yeah, like I've gotten to the point where when I approach a roundabout, I'm looking to the left as well, just in case.
You really got to pay attention. We'll teach you how to work how to drive the roundabout.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
All right, what's your number 2?
Tell you what, up in Pittsburgh, the vehicle registration fee was $36 a year, and here there's a vehicle tax. So on my, $50,000 vehicle, I pay a vehicle tax every year of $400.
Yeah,
maybe.
probably 400.
And so then there's also a vehicle tax on a boat, on my golf cart, on my slingshot. And so those taxes add up to be a lot more for the vehicles than what I paid in Pittsburgh. But the flip side is
Property.
Yeah. So I'm paying $3,000, not $12,000. And
You're still making up.
Under, and I've got a lot of vehicles.
Yeah.
So most people would be with 2 nice cars, they're going to be paying well under $1,000 for the vehicle taxes.
Yep.
The one weird thing, when I brought my boat here, because I dragged my boat down, I had to pay a tax on the boat and on the motor. It was separate taxes because it was not an inboard motor, it was an outboard motor.
Did you have them separated from each other, and that's why you had?
Nope, it was on the boat itself. You had 2 taxes to pay.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I've never had a boat, so I never knew that.
I had.
Yeah.
That's my boat.
All right. So my third thing, which can be totally avoided, but I still like about it every once in a while.
Yeah.
If I have a appointment at MUSC downtown for a specialty doctor or something like that, and I make that appointment for 8:30, 9 a.m., I'm the idiot.
Yeah.
Because now I'm in rush hour traffic. Now, is that rush hour traffic anything compared to Boston?
Right.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
But you learn to change your appointments to the 10:30 hour, not the 9 and 8:30 hour.
Yep.
To avoid that rush hour traffic. So that's probably my third.
And I'd say my third is also traffic.
Yeah.
So if you are going to work downtown Charleston and you work in a 9 to 5 and 8 to 4, Summerville may not be the right answer for you.
We may just get you on the islands or something.
That's right. 26, a little squirrely. Some bonehead gets in an accident or something, ties it up. But then the traffic around Summerville, listen, we've had a massive influx of people into Summerville.
Yeah.
So there are times now where I will sit through 1 or 2 lights maybe out here on Main Street where I didn't do that 3 years ago. I feel like there's been a difference. But what you end up doing is you take Nexton Parkway instead of Main Street.
There's always ways.
Or you circle around Goose Creek, or there's other, once you're here, you learn those ways. But if you were going specifically to the movie theater in Summerville, you might sit in traffic for a few extra minutes there. The flip side of that is, though, that they're doing a good job at increasing the road. So we've got roads being widened all over the place.
176 by King Bay.
Berlin G, going to be massive. And so I think that's going to make a big difference here very soon.
Yep. What's your third?
That was my third.
That was your third.
That was my third. Don't make me come up with 4.
You don't have to come up with 4.
My God, I struggled to find those 3. I like it here so much, I was picking the thing.
So as we said on this channel, we're going to talk about the good, the bad, the ugly. And so I think we've given you a little bit of both there.
Yeah.
If you're interested in moving to this area, we would love to try to help you. We do Zoom calls all the time. Down in the description, click on the link there where it says book a Zoom call. It'll go right into our calendars. You can find the time that is best for you. And that way we can sit down and talk about the lifestyle you want to live, for the budget that you want to live on, the house that you want to buy, and then find that perfect neighborhood for you.
Yeah, and we don't want you to just do that like 2 weeks before you come here.
Oh, yeah.
If you're thinking about coming here a year and a half from now, when 9 days, 9 weeks, 9 months, and that's what we've had a couple recently, like 2 years.
2 or 3 years, yeah.
And so, because what we want to do is be able to send you once a week, send you a listing of all the homes that we think might fit for you, so you can just kind of keep an eye on the market over the next year or two. It's not a hassle for us. We're happy to do it. It takes our typical phone calls half an hour, probably.
30 or 40 minutes.
And so jump on a Zoom with us, meeting, whatever. We'll make it happen.
All right. Well, until the next video.
See you.
Yeah.